Okay, we're live, man. How are you doing,
Beautiful,
Chris?
beautiful. Good.
Finally
It's
nailed you
about,
down, man.
it's at 6 o'clock here in Japan,
Yeah, I know.
and I'm 6:01.
Yeah, I know. I totally. You blew my mind with the time. I was like, "Is 10 a.m. Eastern all right for you?" And I was way off, man. Like, what
10
is it?
a.m. Eastern would be like midnight here. Or
Yes.
no, after the time change, because Japan's kind of weird country. We don't have this daylight savings time thing. It's year round, same time zone. So
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
it before the time change in the States, it would have been 12 a.m. here.
Yeah,
But now it'd be 11 p.m.
yeah.
Either way,
I
quite
know
late.
that time change is such a nightmare. I wish they would get rid of it because it came from the world wars in England. I guess it did in America as well, and it's for the farmers to do more work. But we just don't need it now, and it's so confusing, especially working online with people all around the world. And America's
Happens twice
changed.
a year.
Yeah, America's changed, and we're changing now this weekend. So it's so confusing. So it's Tuesday for you, right?
Yes, Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Got you. Yeah, got you. Yeah.
I just want to confirm you're getting the sound and you see me. Everything is all good.
Yeah, totally,
Beautiful.
Chris. Yeah,
I got you too.
You sound great. Yeah, it's good to see you in
And
the
it's
pub.
6 p.m., so I'm having a beer in the pub. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I don't think you can do a live stream not in the pub now, Chris.
I do in the mornings and afternoons, but I'm a full-time internet marketer and I'm a big beer drinker. So almost not every even, but 5 to 6 nights a week, I will go to the pub around 5:30, 6, and I'll actually most of the time I do work. Sometimes I meet friends, but I literally work for a couple hours in the pub. It's one of the great things about making money online. I'm the boss, so if I want to drink a beer while working, no one can stop me.
Yeah. So, what brought you to Japan? Was that anything to do with internet marketing? How did you end up?
No. My parents got transferred over here when I was in university for my dad's job, and then I came over and liked it. So I studied Japanese, and then after university, I got a job teaching English, and 24 years later, still here.
Right. Yeah. I know.
I love it. I'm really happy. I mean, by the way, anyone who's any doubt, I know this is more about online e-commerce and all that stuff, and we're getting into that. But I just want to say, if you've never visited Japan, you've never been here, I know so many people who come over from the Western world, Europe and America and Canada, and all that, and they get over and they just love it, and they stay forever. Or people who come visit and they just like, wow, man, that was so much better than I thought I even imagined. So I really suggest if you ever have a chance, you put Japan on your travel agenda.
Yeah, it's totally on my list already, Chris. Yeah. And can we talk about your new YouTube channel? Or
absolutely.
I've been watching your new YouTube channel, which is, what's it called again? Beers
in Japan with Chris Blair, or Beers in Japan.
Yeah.
It should come up. But this is again not really YouTube related. I just started this new channel. I'm just thought, you know what? There's so many from. Whoa. Okay, that was fun. Don't cut that out of the live stream. That's hilarious. I just hit my pod there with my. I hit board, and then I hit my pod. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, totally fine, Chris. Yeah.
So what happened here is this cord, and I just sort of hit it, and then the pod I had flipped over. But anyway, don't cut that out. Let's just leave it.
I will.
These bizarre things happen sometimes when you're shooting a live video.
Yeah, that's it. Actually, yeah.
I was watching a live video on YouTube on CNN like 3 days ago, and this newscaster's in there doing this live stream, and his kids come running into the middle of the newscast.
Yeah. Have you seen the one where the guy he must be doing a live stream on Facebook or using the Facebook app, and he's actually live on the news, and it's putting all these funny hats on him and everything, and he doesn't realize, and he's actually going out live.
So I just hit the cord. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's what happens. Anyway, good entertainment here. I got the cord here onto my earbuds. So back to what I'm saying. Yes, I started this channel. By the way, I started this channel. It's called Beers in Japan with Chris Blair. It's all about just what life is really like here. I mean, I just called it Beers in Japan because I thought that was a unique name, something that have a little bit of attention. But I actually have some videos about beers in Japan, but I haven't actually published them any. There's 7 videos up, and it's about, a lot of it's about food. Some about some famous temples and feeding the carp and all sorts of things. And I actually got like 20 some videos done, but where my staff and I are editing them, getting ready. So I'm gonna document what it's truly like to live here. Okay. And I'm starting off with more exciting stuff. I'm even going to the mundane, like buying a ticket to get on the subway and all that stuff. And when I travel, I'm gonna document that. So it's basically a video blog about this white expat living here in Asia permanently. I'm permanent in Japan. I have absolutely no intention of moving back to the States. I love it here. States, and it's a great place, but for me, this is just a better fit. So,
So I was wondering, are you planning to bring e-commerce into that YouTube channel? Because when it grows, that will drive a lot of traffic for you, possibly.
No, I'm not going to pervert it that way. People obviously may Google search me and they find I'm big in e-com and I have e-com coaching training, but I'm not planning. I wasn't planning these as a marketing channel. I mean, I want to keep. The people find me through beers in Japan. They like me. They research me and they find out, hey, he also is involved in e-com and he has a coaching program, a training program, a mastermind for e-com, and they want to join that. That's fine. I'm not going to stop that. But no, I'm not thinking of positioning beers in Japan as a tool to promote my coaching and training program. I just felt like it's something I just out there seeing what people are putting up on. I've seen some of these other channels like that, right? And they're talking about the history and the culture of Japan and all that's fine and cool. I'm not saying anything about that, and I may do some of that. But what I really want to do is show that, hey, look, this is daily life, right? This is the food I can eat. This is how I ride on the train. This is the real day-to-day thing.
Yeah, good.
And so far, it's all been positive. And by the way, I would say 98% of living here is positive. But I will talk about a few things that I think are weird and I don't really necessarily like. But
right, yeah, cool, yeah. So, like, I've heard your story before, Chris, about because you were like an offline sales guy before, weren't you?
Yep.
Is that right?
I was a headhunter. So for the corporate sales and the headhunting.
Yeah. Then, so how did you transition into e-com from that? How's that transition?
So in 2008, so 2016, 17, 18, I made, you hear these people, these rag their riches stories, and that is not my case at all. Okay. Yeah. I was making good money. I mean, good money. $200,000, $300,000 a year as a headhunter in 2000 and those years, right? The 6, 7, 8. Okay, and so I had some savings, and things were good, and so I wasn't even the idea of working online didn't even occur to me. I was happy with my life and everything was not, but then Lehman shock came, and the headhunting that I was doing, and my bread and butter was helping European, Canadian, Australian, and American companies find bilingual Japanese talent. You didn't have to be just, obviously, bilingual is one aspect of it, but you had to have certain skills and sets that they're looking for. So that was my niche. That was my defined niche within the headhunting space. And there was a lot of business because Japan economy was they experienced 3 years of consistent growth. In fact, people talk about the boom times in the 80s. And yes, in the boom times in the 80s, I wasn't even here, and I was still in high school and junior high school. Though, yes, the economy boomed, but it was more like this. Japan, post World War II, experienced the longest sustained growth in the history of Japan after World War II. It was 3 years of just this really steady 4 or 5% growth every single year, and there were foreign companies pouring money into this market big time. And I was riding the coattails of that. And it was a great time and I enjoyed it. But then Lehman came. Actually, so I got royally fucking screwed over by subprime. I mean,
Right.
royally screwed. Not only, I mean, literally the bottom fell out. I mean, I literally made, I think I remember 2009, I made like 20,000, less than $20,000.
Right.
Which is a big shock to your system. And by one thing you understand, when you guys, people think about, okay, yeah, you make so much money, but two things happen. Number one, your tax goes up, and Japan's a high tax country, right? I mean, when you go over $108,000 in Japan, you're basically paying 44%. If you get up to $400,000, you're paying 51%. 51. Yeah. I mean, if you count all the little taxes, this tax, that tax, it adds up. Okay, so literally, people who make $1 million in Japan are paying, well, it's not quite 51. It's like 50.25. The point is, you're paying basically half your money to the government. So your tax goes up, and your living expenses go up. So I had quite expensive living expenses, and I had taxes to pay. And so, so going from here to here really is painful.
It's hard, yeah.
So I was looking for a new opportunity, and I discovered this online thing, and I really just went for it. I decided to go for it, and I quit the corporate world, and I've never looked back. I've had, I was a highly motivated person. I had a good education, skill sets. Luckily, I had some capital to work with to propel start my business. So, no, I'm not going to sit here and say that I was working 9 to 5, making the minimum wage. That is not true. I had the benefit of capital that I had saved up from my headhunting and sales jobs that could help propel me. So I could buy the good courses and the good coaching. So this is not a rags or riches. This is a transformation. But I wasn't in crisis situation. I had to figure out. And by the way, I didn't succeed. It took me well over a year to start making money online. But luckily, I had the capital and some funds that I could sustain my lifestyle for a while and invest in a business. So,
yeah, that's totally a problem I see a lot, Chris, is people try and do it with no money, and they don't realize that the big guys will spend $1,000 on ads just to test stuff, no problem. They won't bat an eyelid if they don't make any money from that. Whereas you get so many people that are just completely broke. They're trying to do a $5 ad and trying to turn their lives around. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying there. Like,
and that's a hard situation to be in. I mean, you really do need some money to get started. Now, if you're flat broke out there's, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're doing affiliate marketing, e-com, whatever. I suggest you do two things. Number one, look and try to learn and get good at free traffic methods. Okay, they're out there, blogging, or not free, but it's very cheap traffic methods. Number two, get something. So get something on the side that's on the side. Maybe it's the main thing in the beginning, right? That's going to bring in some money, and look, make a sacrifice. Make a sacrifice. Look, go to your job, home and work. Job, home and work in your business. Job, home, work in business. Don't go out drinking. Don't make a sacrifice, right? Put the extra money you have towards your business, because that short-term sacrifice, whether it be a year or 2 years, can change your life.
Yeah,
and that sounds like a long time, but if you look at your total life, right? These days we're living to an average 81. So, saying, look, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to go out partying. I'm not going to socialize very much. I'm going to spend 6 months to a year building my business, getting going. Yeah. In the long run, it'll pay you back 100 times over.
Yeah, that is exactly what I did, Chris. I used to have a 1 hour commute to my job. Then I would often be traveling down to London and working in London, which was another like 3.5 hour drive. But I would get up before work. I would work before I went. I would be working in my break times. And then as soon as I got home, I'd be working again until I could actually make the break and go full time online, which I did with a wild leap. Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's exactly what I did. Like, but I wanted it. Like, you got to want it as well, because a lot of people don't really truly want it, but you've really got to, like, this is what I absolutely want to do. Like,
Yeah,
and break out.
I mean, I do coaching and training myself, and so I'm automatically associated with this, whether I like it or not. But I mean, I think, Matt, you can see I'm not one of these guys out there selling the dream, saying, "Hey, join my mastermind course. And 3 months from now, you're going to be sitting on the beach, drinking margaritas, and never have to work again. The money's going to become pouring out of the computer screen." That is bullshit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
People who are selling you, they're snake oil salesmen. And
well, that's what I like about
I won't do it.
That's what I like about you, Chris, is you're like, this is how I see it. You're more of a, like, genuine marketing, genuine skills, genuine strategies, not like loopholes and shortcuts. Like, you are like, and like when you were offline, did you learn a lot about your marketing skills there that you brought to online?
No, but I learned about persistence.
Right.
I mean, when you are in sales, which I did a corporate sales gig, right? And then I did headhunting. I mean, I'm not joking you, 200 to 400 cold calls a day.
Right, yeah, that's hard, yeah.
and I made good money doing it, and I'm not complaining about it. I mean, I did good money, not millionaire type of money, but I did well compared to the average person. But I was pounding the phones.
Yeah.
And hitting, and so that, and also what did help me though was communicating, and as a headhunter and a salesperson, you meet a lot of people. Right? You meet them on the phone, you meet them face to face. And you learn a lot about what makes people tick. And that, to be honest with you, has been very, very valuable as a marketer. Yeah. Even though I'm not talking to a person directly, like calling them on the phone and being face to face, I'm already in tune mentally from doing years of sales, because headhunting sales, I did other sales jobs. I'm already mentally in tune with what people want, so I can take my marketing to appeal to them. But what I won't do, in fact, I could, if I said to you, "Hey, I'm going to make you thousands of dollars next month to sign up. You can quit your job within 2 to 3 months." Hey, boom, yeah, let's rock and roll. And I stood in front of a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, I would sell a lot more mastermind coaching trainings than I do. Yeah. But I won't do that because I will not bullshit you. That is not reality.
Yeah, totally, man. And that's the sad thing about it, is those courses sell like mad. And
they do, because everyone wants to buy the dream.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a sad thing, man.
Water.
Yeah. So when you first came into ecom, what was it like at that point? Like, was this around Don Wilson time? Because he was the first big guy.
So when I first started off, I was doing affiliate marketing. Basically, I was running using Facebook advertising to run affiliate digital offers, right? Like there's all sorts of digital offers, right? I mean, I was running that kind of traffic. And at that point, I think it was 2013. Okay. No, sorry. Let me step back here. 2012, I discovered Don Wilson selling ecom, and I was testing it out. And I wasn't having a lot of luck, to be honest. I was not having a lot of luck. And 2013, I launched a course called 2 Cent Facebook Clicks, right? Which is about Facebook advertising.
I think I remember that,
And I was getting I discovered a way to get dirt cheap traffic. I mean, from a lot of testing, I discovered a way to get dirt cheap traffic. And even Don Wilson himself bought the course and reached out and said, "Jesus Christ, he was really, really well with ecom, and I was doing well with Facebook advertising to affiliate offers." So, and I was, by the way, trying ecom because I had seen Don Wilson, and I couldn't get results. I'm like watching this Don guy. I'm like, what the heck? I don't understand. I can't get my T-shirts on Teespring to sell. I couldn't sell anything. I mean, I could not get T-shirts to sell. So anyway, so then Don came out with his laboratory course. What was it? His ads cracked.
Yeah.
And then I took his course, and the way we were doing advertising was a bit different. But what I really picked up from that was how he was set up his products, right? How he was niching down. I was launching all sorts of shirts that were funny, right? Let me give you a hint about something on Facebook, right? Okay, so for example, I remember one that I launched. I just couldn't understand why it didn't sell. It said, "Jesus loves you. Everyone else thinks you suck." and that got such viral reach. I mean, I got thousands and thousands of shares and comments and almost zero sales. And I had numerous shirts on Teespring like that because I was trying to do humor.
Yeah.
And what I didn't understand at the time was that for a product, especially a t-shirt, hat, bag, whatever, right, to sell on Facebook, it's got to have two things. It's got to have some sort of cool, funny, interesting message, right? Something that, and Jesus loves you, everyone else thinks you suck, is a funny, cool message, right? With a relatively decent design. It doesn't have to be super fancy, but relatively decent design. But what that example I just gave you, and I had a lot of these. I had like 50 some of these. I tested. I was aggressive. I was trying to make it work. It wasn't tied to a passion.
Got you.
And this is the most important part of interruption marketing. Okay. So I'm just as I'm going on and on, I'm explaining here, but so when someone comes onto a social media platform, whether it be Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, whatever it is, right? They did not go on to that social media platform today to go shopping.
Right,
they did not.
Yeah.
They did not. They went on there to have fun, right? To get information. They go on. People use Twitter as a news feed, right? They use Facebook as a feed to like connect with your friends and play games and see what your friends are up to. Pinterest is about connecting with people who have common interests, right? Right. So that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
And you are literally, here's what you're doing. And I really want you guys to understand this, right? You're literally standing in front of them and saying, here's my shirt, bag, hat, jacket, whatever. Go buy my fucking shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I swear a lot, but I like to keep it real, guys.
Yeah, don't worry, so do I, Chris.
So which is another reason why I can't live in America anymore. I'm totally not politically correct. I just can't stand that political correct.
No,
but what a load of crap. The language police, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And so okay, this might be interesting. This thing you're showing them might be interesting, and they may like it, and they may share, comment on it, but unless it's somehow related to something that I'm into and I'm passionate about, I'm not going to click over and buy it.
Yeah.
So for example, I mean, let me take the example I just gave you, right? Okay, and by the way, I didn't do this. Now looking back on it, I should have maybe done this. Let's see here. How can I think Jesus loves you, everyone thinks you suck, and turn that and tie that into some sort of niche? So I niche it down somehow. Jesus loves firemen, but everyone else thinks you suck.
Yeah, got it.
So I tie it to firemen, right, or something like that. And then that was a really probably a bad example, but the point is, it's got to be attached to something particular.
Yeah.
Something people care about, right? And then when you present that, you got a funny, interesting, cool, motivational, can work sometimes, right? Something that inspires them to be interested, and you tie it to something that they're passionate about. Then you can motivate them to go off of Facebook, go off Instagram, go off Pinterest, and go there and buy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, and not only that, it's scalable as well then, because you've got the fireman, the policeman, the doctor, whatever. Yeah. So like, what's your thoughts about Facebook ads nowadays? You got any thoughts on that? Because it's changed a lot.
Facebook ads, I mean, are as good as they've ever been.
Right. This is
when you understand and you use Facebook ads as principles and understanding how it really works rather than depending your business on loopholes.
Yeah.
I'm getting sales every day on Facebook.
Right. Yeah. So, have you got a favorite ad platform? Do you use other ad platforms, or is it mainly Facebook?
Facebook's my favorite one. I use Instagram. I've used Pinterest a couple times. Some other ones. Reddit, another one.
Oh, Reddit.
I'm now getting interested in TikTok. But Facebook for advertising is awesome. It is awesome.
Right. Yeah. What about platforms? Because there's so many platforms these days. Any favorite platform?
What do you mean, like platform?
Shopify, Etsy, Amazon.
Oh, okay. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to own your own brand and you want to deal with your mailing list and all the management of a website, Shopify is great. Ecommerce is great. WooCommerce is great. If you just want to make products and sell, I recommend Gearbubble, Shine On, or Motifi. Is another one.
Yeah. Oh, who's that? I've not heard of them, Chris.
Motifi, they're in Europe.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, say someone, because this is what my thought. If someone's brand new, like I've got loads of new people coming in onto my list now that really haven't touched e-commerce at all because there's like a big boom in it at the moment. But my thoughts are like things like Etsy and stuff are great for beginners, whereas Shopify, because Etsy's got the built-in traffic and the trust and the built-in ads and all that, whereas Shopify, if you're brand new, you've got to learn how to use Shopify, learn to build a decent enough looking store, and then you've got to learn ad platforms like Facebook and stuff like that, and then you've got to drive your own traffic. Like I always suggest to new people, maybe Etsy or something like that, because it's
Etsy is a great way to start. It's a different type of marketing because that's more of what we call intent marketing.
Yeah.
So what intent marketing is the potential buyer has intent. So they're going on to Etsy and they're searching funny beer T-shirt or cool unique toothbrush, right? You'd be surprised. People, the innovations in toothbrushes are amazing these days. Yeah. So the days of just having this, brush is changing a lot. But so they got something they want to buy, and they're going on searching. And say them Amazon. So that sounds great, right? Oh, well, why should I just go for intent shoppers, right? That's those people are raising their hands and they want to buy that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of problems there. Okay, so but I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying you got to understand that it's not as easy as it sounds, because number one is these people are shoppers, and if any doubt what a shopper is, I want you to do your favor. I want you to go into a department store, and I want you to be a stalker for just like 1 hour. As women come into the shop, just sort of, don't be rude, but just sort of follow them around and watch what they do. I look at, so cute. This is so cute. I'm not being sexist here. I'm just saying the honest truth.
Yeah.
Okay. So cute. I tried that. They spend 1 hour. They look at this, look at that, look at that. They walk out with nothing.
Yeah.
And that happens on Amazon. It's all the time. Or they walk out with something, but it's not your product. Okay.
Yeah.
And guys do it too, but not as intensely as women.
Yeah.
So the problem with those people is they're going to browse through all the different options on Amazon and Etsy. Okay. That's number one problem. I think I said there was a second problem here. I can't remember the second problem. There's a second problem here.
Yeah, that's actually a good way of looking at it, Chris. Like looking at people in real shops and what they're doing and how they're picking stuff up, and that. I never thought about that before. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry. The other problem is this: you have to get yourself ranked well on Etsy or Amazon, and you have a lot of competition for the same words. I forgot about that for 1 second. You have a lot of competition for the same search terms, right? So you have to play the game of getting yourself ranked high, and that's not easy. So. By the way, again, I'm not I want to repeat this. I'm not saying don't do Etsy. I'm not saying don't do Amazon. I'm just saying that if you believe that Etsy and Amazon will be an easy walk in the park because you are dealing with intent shoppers versus interruption marketing shoppers, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to have to learn to play that game as well.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You got the competition. Do you have any tips on getting ranked on Etsy?
Yes, I do.
That you can share?
Okay, the biggest mistake I made in Etsy is I did what I call a product dump, which I never will do again.
Right.
So the first time I opened an Etsy store, we dumped tons of product on there that we were doing okay with on our Shopify store. Don't do that.
Right.
Etsy likes regular activity. It's like YouTube. Drip feed it. You're better off posting a product or two every day than posting 100 products a day and not doing anything.
Right.
They want activity, just like YouTube. In fact, you're better off posting one YouTube video a day than you are posting 100 videos today and tomorrow. It's just the way the algorithm works. They want regular active channels. Yeah. Etsy wants regular active market stores.
Right. Yeah.
So post 2 today, 2 tomorrow, 2 the next day. Just keep doing that over and over again. That will help drive juice.
Right. Yeah, that's a good tip, Chris. I like that. Yeah. And like on the flip side of that, what's like some no-nos, some things you see people do which they shouldn't be doing in any areas of e-com? Like, do you see any big mistakes that people make?
No. Yeah. Thinking about a profitable niche. This is something that happens all the time. I'm in the beer niche, so people come and try to communicate the beer niche, and they don't understand the beer niche, and they fail at that.
Yeah. And
the beer niche is a great niche, it's a profitable, good niche, but unless you understand your niche, it's hard to be successful in that. Okay, so one of the key things is try to go after a niche you have an understanding for, or you're willing to do a lot of research on and truly get to know it.
Right. Yeah. So people just going blindly into stuff they know nothing about and trying to sell shit.
Yeah, because they think it's a profitable niche, and that may be the case, but doesn't mean it's going to be profitable for you.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. So, like, what are you doing these days? Are you focusing on training and stuff? You've got training courses out?
Yep. I'm doing training coaching. I'm very passionate about this. I've been in this ecom thing since 2012. You guys know, really making profits out of 13. I still do the ecom thing. But I've since I've someone's taken over my shop. So my store. Yeah. So I'm doing more focus on coaching and training. I'm actually selling through platforms a lot these days.
Right. Yeah.
The Gear Bubbles, the multi-fees, the sign-ons, because it's just less management issues.
Yeah, a lot easier.
After doing this from 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 8 years, I got kind of – but I'm not saying e-com is bad because, guys, people have had a lot of success and made a lot of money building up a store and selling. So I'm not saying don't do that. In fact, if you're motivated and you're willing to go through that grind and do it, it's incredible. It can change your life. I'm not saying it's going to, but it can.
Yeah.
But I just, to the point, after doing that for 8 years, I just thought, you know what? I just need to change. So I separated myself from my e-com sites, and now I'm focused on e-com training and helping people. I got private coach students who are doing well. If you want to go to my Facebook profile, which is contact Chris Blair at Facebook.com, contact Chris Blair. You'll see testimonials. I got, and I'm really passionate about that. So that's what I'm doing right now. That's my number one thing right now is coaching and training. But I'm not one of these guys, again, who just turned up and started doing coaching and training. You see me in this business for years. I just got so burned out on running my Shopify store now that I wanted to just focus on coaching and training. But I'm running traffic. And actually, it's really cool. I'm actually enjoying this because I was so focused on the beer niche for so long. Now I've got a bunch of Mother's Day products that I'm going to put on Gearball. And they're completely irrelevant to beer niche. I'm doing something different, right? Which is really fun, actually. So I'm going to put on these more like different things. And I got a lot of marketing experience. So I'm sure we can make some sales. We'll find something, right? So I'm selling to platforms these days rather than running my own shop. And I'm doing the Japan channel. And I know there's only 7 videos up on that, but I've got literally 25 videos already done.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I try and comment on that when I see them going up, like give you a bit of support, because that's the thing. That's the thing with YouTube, man. It's the long game, and you've got to go through that painful phase of just getting a handful of views, and you just got to keep plugging away at it, and hopefully a snowball then.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of other things I want to talk to you about this. When we were in Vancouver, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but you had a tip about a driver. Is that something you can talk about on air, or is that your expecting stuff? Yeah. So can you explain about that? Because I thought that was a great thing you talked about then.
Okay. All right. So, so we've all heard of the 80-20 rule, right? That's a common expression. And I'm bringing that up because that's the closest analogy I can get to. But in e-commerce with paid ads, it's more like the 98-2 rule.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So and this is the hardest thing for a newbie to overcome. And this, it's the hardest thing for a newbie to like keep pushing on when they don't see it. But guys, it's incredible. Okay. So you can test. And I recommend with paid ads, you do 2 to 3 products a day. I mean, I'm upfront. I sent out 30 design ideas to my designer today for Mother's Day. We're going to start advertising this weekend. If I can get one of them that's a hit, I'm ecstatic. Because I can drive tons of money and traffic to that product. I call it the driver, because that drives your revenue, right? And here's the thing, though, is yes, 29 products are going to lose me money. And I got a whole ad testing method, and I don't have time to go into it. So I can literally spend maybe $5 on each product, and most of them I'll be able to get rid of. With $5, I will get rid of maybe 20 of them. The other 10 of them, okay, I need more data. It's looking interesting. I need a little more data, right? Another 9 of them, I got to spend maybe $15 to $20. And sorry, maybe 8 of them. And then the last 2, I'm like, oh, wow, they're going. I'm going to push these ones. And then 1 or 2 of them become massive winners. And you can throw tons of money at that, right? It's like a water faucet, right? So you got this. Here's a good example. Let's just say you put plates under. You pour in the water. There's a little drip of water out of the faucet, and you're putting plates under the water. Okay, and negative reaction. The water won't pile on the plate. The water won't pile on the plate. The water won't pile on the plate. And this is what happens, right? Because people are being bombarded with ads. But then you do that enough. One plate you put it on the water for some magical reason, and it seems like magic the first 1 or 2 times you do it, the water starts to pile up on the plate. And then it boils into a bowl. And the water keeps piling up. Holy shit. I've got a winning product. And then you scale up your traffic. What do you mean? People are like, how do you scale up your traffic? What you don't understand is that this is not search engine optimization. This is not Google traffic. This is paid ads. Facebook will take as much money as you're willing to spend. Yeah. So literally, I will go from spending $5 a day to $200 to $300, $500, $1,000 a day. I've done $1,000. I've done $2,000 or $3,000 a day on one given product. Right now, I'm not stupid. If the money's not coming, I'm not to spend that. Right, but it's really bizarre because in this is the way it is on social media. You guys seen these posts on social media that like get 100,000, 200,000 shares, right? Other post gets 100. It's the same thing with products. For some reason, some products are magical. Yeah. They really are. And until you have that, you have a hard time believing it. But just trust me on this. And it's the one thing that I want you to take a leap of faith on. And I can't guarantee you're going to find that magic product, but just know that it's possible. Okay.
Yeah.
you find that one magic product, right? Like our buddy Ken in Vancouver, right? And Ken, made a huge amount of money. I'm not gonna say his numbers, selling like 3 products in a year.
Yeah.
And here's the best part. Once you find that winning product, winning idea, you keep using it over and over and over again, right? So
yeah, that's it. I mean, you remind me of a few things. Like there's a couple of Here's another thing I see. Somebody will find one of those products. They'll smash it. They'll make a load of money. They'll be hooked on e-commerce, but then they hit a wall. Then their money, they start living on their money. They think they've made it, and then they're stuck. They hit a wall. They can't find that other winner. So when you hit one of those winners, you got to make sure
you keep testing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So I always tell my first of all, when students come to join me as a private coaching student, if we don't have a product that's what I call a driver, because I mean that drives people to your website, drives people to your store, drives revenue, we test and we search for drivers. But then when we find a driver, we focus on scaling, because you should always do the thing in life that's closest to the money. That's another thing that I learned about sales. I used to walk. There was a sign in the headhunting company office I worked at. There was a sign in the doorway as you walked in. Today, do the activity that's closest to the money.
Right. Yeah.
So whatever it is closest to getting that commission check, do that first.
Yeah.
Then do everything else that you need to do later. So yes, of course, once you find that driver, that winning product, that magic product, of course you focus on scaling that first. But this may have a lifespan. If you're lucky, and a lot of I have one idea that I've been selling since 2015. I'm serious. I just take the same idea and I put on different prototypes. I think you know what it is. I'm not gonna say what it is.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
a certain expression, a little bit dirty expression that I just come up with, and then it's I just take it and put it on a hat, bag, T-shirt, whatever. It just keeps going. Like it's unbelievable, but that's unusual, right? To go from 2015 to 2021 and still selling the same thing is unusual, right?
Yeah.
But so lifespans can be several months to a year, some 2 or 3 years. You got to know that at some point it's not going to work anymore, and so you have to always be testing new stuff. Always be testing, because one, you can find a second driver or a third driver, right? And that's great. You need to make even more money. You're in good shape. But there's a possibility that the money could dry up.
Which does happen, yeah. So let's say somebody's tested 30, 40, 50 designs. They find a winning driver or a winning product. Like, do you set that product right in a collection, drive them to collection pages?
No. Okay. There are some exceptions, right? Where driving to a collection page, with a collection page, for those who know, has got a page with multiple products. Yeah. And you could have different designs and slogans on each product. You could have the same. In general, I don't do that. And there are exceptions, so I'm not going to say that's a completely unviable strategy, because it's not. But I think it's just, with online advertising, you're interrupting their day. You're interrupting them. You're saying, "Hey, go do this." So you want that initial commitment. You want them to jump through the first hoop. So I like to drive people to one product, and that's all that's on the sales page. Maybe some related products at the very, very bottom, right? And if you want to do an upsell later, after, post-purchase upsell, that's one thing. But you're interrupting them. You got their attention. Why complicate the situation for them with other options? Get them to take that first option. You can always email them on the back end and try to upsell them there.
Yeah, it's a bit like the woman walking into the shop. Like, if there's one top in there for her, she'll pick that one up and buy it. But if there's a whole load of rails of other clothes, she'll start looking at all around. Like,
absolutely, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So let's say we find a driver. It's working. We're sending traffic to that page. Would you take that design and maybe in the same niche or whatever, make some more designs, maybe with similar colors in a similar style, and start testing out that way?
Absolutely, I do.
And like, would you start maybe on a t-shirt? If it works on a t-shirt, would you put it on a whole load of other products, then test
This is
it?
exactly what I've done. Exactly what I've done. I take the same session, test on different products. And by the way, it doesn't always work on other products, but
yeah, right, yeah, of course, yeah. And then you hone in on what.
And by the way, I mean, one of the best things to do is start with t-shirts and mug cups. They're the most common product types. See if you get getting sales or good reaction. And by the way, there's a flip side to this. It's negative, right? So t-shirts and mug cups are the most common. So I will often have coaching students come with me. We test a certain idea, right? Say I love my mum. This is you're from UK, so I say mum instead of mom. That's a lame idea. Don't do that. But anyway, I love my mum shirt, right?
Yeah.
But that is totally lame. That won't sell on paid advertising. So just forget about that. But I'm just using an example, right? Say you put on a t-shirt or coffee mug, and then it makes a few sales or gets a lot of engagement, shares, comments, but doesn't sell well. Okay, a lot of people will give up and move on from that. That's a mistake. Yeah. And here's the thing. If it got high engagement, comments and shares, got sales on the most common prototypes, there's a very good is an exaggeration. There's a reasonable chance that if you take that same expression or slogan and you put it on some sort of different prototype, more unusual prototype, like a hat, bag, jacket, something that is not as common to be sold, it could work. Yeah. So I always tell my student, we have a special slogan like that, we should test it out on a couple other products just to be sure that it's actually dead. It's actually a loser, because it may not be. It may be that because you put it on a t-shirt, coffee mug, which is something that people see every day on advertising, and even though the expression is good, they're not that motivated because you're the 30th t-shirt I've seen today.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever had this, Chris, where you've got a design and you think this is going to do it, this is going to smash it, and it flops, and then you put out one where you think this is never going to sell, and it just sells like mad,
it happens. It totally happens.
Yeah. Well,
so that's it. That's the thing. Don't be emotionally attached to your products. I mean, let the market dictate to you what's good and what's not.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I've fallen into that trap with other things as well, is trying to sell people what you're passionate about as opposed to selling them what they want. Like that's an easy trap to fall into, man.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
But yeah, there's one more thing I wanted to ask you, Chris, and that is there's a lot of buzz around digital products, and I know you're friends with Fernando. He's coming on here soon to talk about digital stuff. You got any thoughts on that? Have you tried any of it, or anything to say about digital products?
Personally, okay, by the way, I just started off. I promoted as affiliate digital products in 2010, right, and 11 and 12. Yeah, so there's money to be made with digital products, but digital products are good, and I promote my course and mastermind, so that's digital products, but.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like digital downloads on, say, Etsy or Shopify.
Printables.
Yeah, printables. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So what a printable is that you sell a design, and they can download and gain the rights to the design to purchase it, and then they can print on anything they want. Right? They can go to a local printer or any sort of printer and print it. So, yeah. That's a newer thing. Well, it's not new as far as that's existed before, but it's a newer angle for online business. And I think, there's a lot of potential with that. I think you should definitely listen to Fernando. And by the way, you brought up Etsy with me. I've got some knowledge of Etsy. I've gone through Fernando's course. I've sold on Etsy, but guys, when it comes to Facebook advertising, Shopify, selling on platforms, I'm a fucking expert. You can come to me and I can help you.
Yeah.
My knowledge of Etsy is Fernando is the guy to go to. Fernando is an Etsy master, and I'm happy to have him on. So
yeah. I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah. Brilliant, Chris. Well, anything else you want to chat about? Anything you want to share?
I just want you guys to know that look, people are selling you the dream. It's gonna be so easy. That's bullshit. But here's what I like to say to people. Look, it's gonna take some effort. It's gonna take consistency to have success online. But when you do, it's worth it. It is worth it. It is. I mean, look, I'm sitting here at the pub at 6 o'clock doing this interview, drinking beers. I mean, how can you do that in a regular job? So
I know.
So go for it. Get committed and just make a decision. You're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, totally. I know. The thought of ever going back to a normal job now is just unthinkable. Like, it would be hell. Yeah.
I can't even imagine that lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, I'll drop your links in for your stuff. If you shoot them over to me, I'll put them in the description as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's message offline for that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And if you ever are doing anything cool or you want to come back on again, it'd be great to have another chat with you, Chris. Yeah,
absolutely. Love it. I hope people got value out of this.
Yeah, no, that's great, Chris. Yeah, I knew it would be like. Right. Yeah. All right, then. Cheers. I'll end the broadcast, and we'll still be in this room if you want to give me your links and stuff. Like, so I'll just hit the end button now.
I'll message you on Facebook.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers.